Bueno, pues vamos a ver esta retransmisión del Nintendo Treehouse de octubre, en el que van a hablar del Zelda Hyrule of Warriors Age of Calamity y del Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Vamos a ver, estará a punto de empezar. Aquí lo tenemos. Aquí empieza. Vamos a ver.
The Treehouse, which is Pikmin 3 Deluxe. And who better to show us through a Pikmin game than my man Corey? So Corey and I are going to take you through a little bit of the main adventure story mode, if you
Van a
will,
hablar primero
and
de
we'll
Pikmin
sprinkle a
3
couple
Deluxe.
of new things along the way. So, Corey, want to kick us off?
Yeah, thank you. It is my pleasure to talk anything Pikmin related. As you mentioned, JC, we are showing Pikmin 3 Deluxe today, and right now we're in story mode, probably about 5 minutes into the story, past the introduction, tutorial, cutscenes, etc. And I am controlling one of the explorers named Alf here.
Es gameplay real.
Generally, what the story is three Alf and two explorer companions of his crash land on this alien planet and find themselves in need of getting back together again, finding the other explorers, but also
Tienen
finding
que
food for their planet.
explorar y encontrar
And they
otros
meet these
exploradores.
Pikmin creatures on the planet, which are adorable plant-like creatures we can see here
Encontrar Pikmins.
that are very curious, they're very loyal, and you'll be using them throughout your adventure. So I just called a few red Pikmin out of the base here. And you notice I'm skipping a few of the prompts. I'm going to be doing that a little bit throughout this just in order to keep the flow going as well as not to spoil the game for everyone as well. So,
Enseñándonos cómo va el
but as
juego.
I move my left stick around, you're able to see that I control my Explorer, and the left stick also controls this red cursor as well.
Controla
So
con el
if I'm
joystick
all the way out of
izquierdo.
range, it also moves the Explorer. If I push the A button where the cursor is located,
Con la
you'll
A
toss a Pikmin to that
lanza
location.
Pikmins.
And if you toss a Pikmin near something like this flower pellet over here,
Si lanzas un Pikmin
you'll
ahí,
see that the Pikmin automatically starts to carry it back to
Oh.
his base, which is called an onion.
Lleva
And we're going to see some sprouts
a la
pop out of the
base,
top there
o lo
and
que
then go
llaman
into the ground,
onion.
which is the way Pikmin propagate. So if you want to get more Pikmin on your squad,
Así es como
you just want to bring
consigues
things
más
back to their
Pikmins.
base and then pluck the new Pikmin out of the ground. I've been using the control stick to control thus far the cursor, but what I'm going to do now briefly is just pause the game and switch over to motion control to control the
también se puede hacer
cursor,
con
just
los-
because
con
that's
los
a
Joy-Con,
personal
con
preference of
motion
mine
control. Vamos a
that
ver.
I started to like a lot more on the Wii U release, but it is totally optional for player preference on how to control the pointer. So that red pointer where you see 23 is now being controlled with just a little bit of motion now.
Con movimiento se puede controlar también. Como en la Wii
Story-wise,
U.
we are trying to reunite with our fellow explorer, Brittany. And if I pause the game using the minus button, we can see that there's sort of a radar being
Con el radar.
pulsating over here across
Puedes
the
ver cuál
water.
es el objetivo,
So it looks
que
like I
es
need to somehow
reunirte
cross the
con los
water to reach
exploradores.
Brittany. But if I try to take the direct approach and just go through the water, we're finding out that the game tells us that red Pikmin
En línea recta,
are not able to go into the water.
Vas a
Water
perder
is lethal
Pikmins,
to them.
que, por
So
ejemplo, no pueden
fortunately,
nadar.
I can use my whistle with the B button and whistle all of my Pikmin back to land. So because the Pikmin are so
su
helpful
silbato,
throughout
hace
my
que los
adventures, you
Pikmin
really do
vuelvan a
grow a bond to
evolucionar.
them, and you do not want to lose even one. But
Yes.
there's a little creature over here that wants a lunch too. So
Yeah, it looks
I'm,
hungry.
yeah, these yellow things that you'll come across are memos, which can often give you a brief hint on how to go about your adventure here. So it recommended me
Otras
tossing a
criaturas
Pikmin
te
on the
pueden
back of that
ayudar
creature,
en tu aventura.
which if I
Ahora
toss a
mismo está
couple more,
interactuando con
we'll
esa
be able to
rana
carry that creature back to the base to get more Pikmin.
y ahora
And
la van a llevar a la base para
actually toss
obtener
some
más
Pikmin
Pikmins.
on these bridge tiles as well, because what we're able to see is even though I can't cross the water yet, if I collect enough bridge
Y ahora
tiles with
los
my
Pikmin
Pikmin,
están
they'll be able to build this
recolectando
bridge. So
esos ladrillos,
while
esas
they are
piedras,
bringing
para construir el túnel, el puente, perdona, para cruzar.
pieces across this wall, but I need to break down that wall. So if I toss a couple Pikmin at the wall, they'll start breaking it down, but they'll go pretty slowly. So if I want to speed up the process, we throw more Pikmin at the
Cuantos más
job.
Pikmin lances, más
And
rápido será el proceso.
meanwhile, we still have our Pikmin collecting these tiles. Looks like my Pikmin also brought back that carcass from the small little creature, so we were able to get even more Pikmin. And we'll throw these new Pikmin at the wall to make it go even faster.
Están terminando los Pikmins.
You know, this whole thing about Pikmin, I do want to talk a bit more about that because I think it's really interesting. You know, these Pikmin, you think about it, right? You pluck them out of the ground, and these big eyes, they're still trying to figure out the world, and they're kind of relying on someone to tell them what to do. So, as you can tell, all these Pikmin have like a single focus when you tell them what to do. And, you know, from their perspective, it's like, okay, well, I should follow this living thing that's telling me what to do, right? But at the same time, you know, it's kind of curious about you. The open eyes, full of wonder, you know, it's kind of relying on you to kind of help.
Las bondades del juego.
And so I feel kind of bad because, you know, at times you may encounter some enemies and Pikmin may, what's the word, die. And that
Le da
sound
pena
is
con lo bien
absolutely
que
heartrending, and I
trabajan
do not
los
wish that on
Pikmin,
anyone.
que cuando
However,
hay algún enemigo, algunos mueren.
it's kind of your fault. It's not theirs. So take care of your Pikmin. That's the story.
Dice que cuides a tus Pikmin, que es muy triste.
Minded, so once they're done with the task, they kind of just wait for their next order. So you're constantly needing to whistle to get their attention whenever they complete their
Siempre
tasks.
tienes que silbar
And
para.
we're coming up
darlos a
against
todos.
our second creature of the game here, which is a larger version of that bulborb we saw, that creature. And as I creep around here before waking him up, I did want to point out another one of the fun features of the game, which is the in-game camera. At any time, you can push the minus button to pause and
Oh,
kind of just see the world from your explorer.
puedes cambiar la vista para ver el mundo como lo ve tu explorador, el personaje principal,
Hey, buddy. But it's a fun
y
way
puedes
to
tomar
take
fotos.
pictures on your journey, as well as almost feel like you're kind of on this nature safari. While this enemy is sleeping, instead of tossing my Pikmin one at a time, I'm going to use a different feature which is called Charge, which if you lock on and press the X button, will send them all.
Si mantienes pulsado el botón X, van todos los Pikmin en manada y evidentemente lo consigue más rápido, claro.
Do take an order all at one time. So you can use that on the walls as well, for example.
And you mentioned that you just used that feature a couple times. I do want to point that out because I really, really like that feature, which is the lock-on feature. If you're familiar with the Pikmin games, you'll kind of remember that there was no lock-on feature. You had to kind of manually aim, kind of do it. But by tapping the ZR button a couple times, you can cycle through targetable items on the screen. And so it can make kind of tossing and moving your Explorer a lot faster just by kind of hot swapping between different lock-on targets. So I really dig that.
Yeah, and I think the cycling
Parece que han encontrado al otro explorador.
and enemies is the thing that really helps me when there are multiple objects or you're in a tight space. So we're coming across Brittany. We're getting a little bit closer to her. We are seeing that fortunately she's okay. The crash landing just made her take a little bit of a nap, and she needs to be rescued now. She's kind of still trapped in here.
I like that language you're speaking.
Yeah, the explorers do speak a different language, so fortunately we as the players.
Los exploradores hablan una lengua diferente, pero afortunadamente tenemos subtítulos, en este caso en inglés, pero en la versión en español evidentemente tendremos subtítulos del juego en español.
Some fruit nearby, which we will see just
Hay
as we
fruta
round the
cerca,
corner.
una
A
fresa.
strawberry, which looks much larger in this world to us because we as the explorer and the Pikmin are so tiny. And because my explorer cannot jump, the only way to reach this item is actually by tossing Pikmin.
El único modo de llegar hasta allí es lanzar Pikmins porque el explorador no puede llegar. Los números indican el número mínimo de Pikmins que necesitas para realizar la tarea, pero si mandas más, evidentemente se hace
To the
más
base, so
rápido.
I can leave them on their own, and they'll get it back there. And as we're trying to continue on and rescue Brittany, we need to get past this wall, but we're finding that this wall, red Pikmin can't break down. And so another new
Parece que los Pikmin rojos no pueden hacer nada contra esa pared.
added. So if a newer player, got stuck or just wanted to know what to do next, you can push up on the plus control pad,
Puedes
and that's going to
analizar
show some hints
y
and
te
then
da alguna pista.
on the ground just to let you
Las
know where to
flechas en el
go.
suelo
So
para
it's
ver
guiding
hacia
me
dónde
to a
tienes que ir.
nearby cave here to maybe find what we need to progress the story.
And at the top of the screen, you'll notice that kind of sun meter kind of crawling across from left to right across the top of the screen. And that kind of indicates how much time, Corey has to get through his tasks because, well, let's just say nighttime is not very nice to Pikmin. You want to make sure you get them out of there before sundown. And, that actually ties into the hint
Tenemos
also.
que
So if this is
derrotar a estas criaturas voladoras y cuidado que algunos de nuestros Pikmin van a morir.
it'll help you kind of explore different ways and different methods that maybe you weren't aware of yet. So definitely use it.
Y
And
acaban de conseguir Pikmin de roca, que suponemos que serán los Pikmin que pueden romper el otro cristal.
these are rock Pikmin. And we didn't go into detail earlier, but each Pikmin type will have their own specialties. So
Cada tipo de Pikmin tiene un set de habilidades diferentes y estos pueden romper cristales.
Pikmin would not. Later on, you'll see that blue Pikmin are the only Pikmin that can go in the water. So, all right. So now that we've got that enemy defeated, I would like to basically sprout a few more rock Pikmin. So I'm going to ask those rock Pikmin to bring it back to the onion, and we will pluck some more rock Pikmin out before we
Van a
continue
conseguir
our
más
adventure. And
Pikmin de
again, one of
roca
those
y
memos
después
that pop up
van
letting
a
you
ir
know
a
a little
romper el
game tip.
cristal.
I love the adorable kind of 2D artwork on those as well. All right, so we've got our rock Pikmin. We've got our red Pikmin. I feel confident we can head out of this cave now. Oops. Let me reorient myself there. There we go. So this wall that we could not break down earlier, again,
Ahora
if I
puede
try to
romper
throw
la
red
pared que
Pikmin, we'll
antes
see that
no
nothing really
podían
happens. But
romper.
if I push the L button, I swap between Pikmin types and can now throw rock
Correcto.
Pikmin, and we're seeing them break down the wall. Using my whistle to gather my Pikmin back, and Brittany, finally we found you. Let's get you out of there.
Lo han conseguido
Break down this
y a ver
glass wall as well.
That's a celebratory backflip they just did.
She is super happy to no longer be confined. So now that they've reunited here, I'm able to use both Brittany and Alf at the same
Ahora
time.
puedo utilizar los dos exploradores porque acaba de salvar a Britney,
Kind
que es
of
la
a
segunda
way
exploradora.
that the game will teach you it's not just for, I guess, aesthetics that you can have multiple party members, but it actually comes in handy from a strategy perspective. So having Brittany, you can toss her over a gap, toss her some
Cuando tienes otro
Pikmin,
explorador,
and then
puedes lanzarla,
at any moment
lanzar
while
algunos
you're
Pikmin
playing, you can
para
push
llegar
the Y button.
más lejos como ahora.
Switch to Brittany, and then we're going to see that she's able to, since she's on a higher elevation, throw some Pikmin up to reach that lemon.
Y
And
consiguen el limón.
if I were on a lower elevation, I'm going to whistle really quickly once they get this lemon down, we would see that if I tried to throw red Pikmin that high, they would not be able
Desde
to
abajo
reach
no
that
podría
high.
haber
So
lanzado los
there are
Pikmin
points
hasta arriba.
throughout the game where you will need to split up your squad and maybe throw one over a gap or over water. But since we do have two explorers now in the game, both Alf and Brittany, JC, I thought it could be a good time to for you to hop in, since With Pikmin 3 Deluxe, it is the first time that 2 people can play the story mode together. At any time, you can just pause, go to play co-op, and JC, you want to hop in?
Absolutely.
Cool. So we'll see the screen now becomes split with me on the left, JC on the right. JC doesn't have any Pikmin right now, so he can't really do much on his own. So I'm going to throw some red Pikmin your way, and you'll just have to whistle at them, and they'll be in your party.
Appreciate that.
And I'm going to keep charge of these rock Pikmin, and let's just keep making our way forward. There's some creatures up here that are carrying crystals, which can be a little dangerous to the red Pikmin, so let me take these guys out before the red Pikmin squad comes in. All right,
Appreciate that.
They are gone. So
I'll take these bridge tiles over here and start building because there's a bridge. So I'll start doing this.
Okay. There is a bridge we found, and JC is gonna get one side, and I found some bridge tiles on the left that need to be carried back, but it was in a sort of crystal, so I used my rock Pikmin there. And we're kind of seeing some teamwork here. JC is using his squad to do a different task than me, which is, again, we're making the most of our time, and it's fun working together. So I'm going to, looks like I've got 7 more bridge tiles to go, and we will have this bridge completed. Come on, rock Pikmin.
Vale. Pues el modo cooperativo tiene,
and I did time that appropriately to make sure that I wanted the red one. So I get more red Pikmin.
So our bridge should be done now almost. Looks like they've got it. Final piece is in place. And
there we go.
All right. So now that we've got the bridge, I'm just going to whistle to make sure I've got all of the kind of idle Pikmin in my party. And actually...
I'm taking some.
Yeah. Okay, good. You threw some Pikmin on some enemies and some... food, some pellets that we can bring back. And as we make our way back, you're going to notice that we're actually back where we started. So we built a bridge, sort of a shortcut.
Y tienen que volver a donde han empezado para llegar, digamos, como a su base.
There, and we're finding a new wall that we couldn't actually break down earlier when we first started. So since I found rock Pikmin, I'm going to throw them at this wall.
Y con los nuevos Pikmin y las nuevas habilidades pueden ir abriendo nuevos caminos que antes no podían.
Much about this earlier, but any piece of fruit that you saw, we got the strawberry earlier. You'll want to bring that back to your base.
Cada fruta es
The more fruit you
importante
collect, the
llevarla.
more days you're going to be able to explore this world. So
Porque es importante.
that's how fruit
te da,
plays a role in the game's story mode.
te da nuevos Pikmin.
Brittany here is noticing that we got a new radar kind of detection from elsewhere on the map, so she's recommending we go check it out. There's another tip letting us know that red Pikmin are fire resistant.
Looks so defiant in the face of fire. Look at that. I just kind of enjoy it. Okay, I'm going to take out this enemy.
Some new creatures here. All right. Oh, and I did not listen to that warning, but my rock Pikmin's lit up like a birthday candle, and he's freaking out. Similar to Pikmin, if they're drowning, as long as you whistle at a Pikmin in peril, as long as it's in time, they'll come running.
Si tocas el silbato a tiempo, no llegan a morir, se estén quemando, se estén ahogando. Y ahora tienes que llegar hasta allí para el puente.
Some bridge materials, but this time it's on the opposite side of the water, so there's going to be a little bit more complications in order to get those bridge pieces. All right.
Taking this.
I also have some red Pikmin in my party, so rather than continuing to burn my rock Pikmin, I'm going to try to use my red Pikmin as well. Oh, thank you. Teamwork.
I got you.
Nice. All right, so those enemies have been felled. All right, so at this point, there is the bridge that we cannot cross on the left. JC, if you kind of come up to where I'm at, I'm going to hold down the Y button, which will allow you to join my party, and then I can toss you over the water. And I can also throw some rock Pikmin over to you, because I think you're going to need some rock and some red.
Thank you.
And while you work on that bridge, I'll just hang out.
Sweet. Ooh, yes. Found him.
Oh, nice. You used the charge feature. Well
I'm
done.
impatient.
while you're doing that, I'm just going to have a little bit of fun. And one of my other favorite features of the game, we showed it a little bit earlier, but that camera, I really like it. From that pint-sized perspective,
Volver a mostrar
there's our
la
enemy we
cámara
just
porque les ha
defeated. But
gustado. Vamos a adelantarlo un poco a ver si han pasado ya a Zelda.
grapes.
Pero
I'll
no,
switch back
parece
to
que no.
Louis
Siguen
here.
en Pikmin, pues está
Just to
mostrando
make sure that
bastante
I'm
gameplay. Bueno,
I always
para
want to
los
have my
juegos este
Pikmin
juego
doing
está bien.
something in this mode because again, you want to create that high score and get as much treasure as you can. So, all right, we've got this gold nuggets going, and looks like these Pikmin are still working on the grapes. Keep an eye on them.
Vale, otro tipo de fruta, están recogiendo
All
uvas.
right, let's go back to base because there might just be some idle Pikmin at base waiting for their next order, which
Vale.
there are. Let's take them out for their next adventure.
Give them purpose, Corey.
Ooh, and pluck some more Pikmin.
Vale,
All right,
Pikmins
while they're
amarillos
plucking,
tienen ahora también.
while Pikmin are being plucked, it's always a good idea to switch to your other explorer. All right, because you can't while they're being plucked, there's not really much else that those guys can be doing. So, all right, got another creature here whose weakness is actually on his back because he's got this shell on the front. Let's see if we can just charge. Oh no! Let's
That
just.
didn't go as planned.
Oh no! We didn't see that. No, let's just get away from that.
Oh man, that
Not all
sound.
Pikmin, not all creatures are actually small though. Even though we bailed out of that battle, and that creature was quite small, there are some creatures that are much
Oh.
more intimidating and large that you'll come across.
También puedes
This one included, which yeah, let's get away from those guys.
bastante más peligrosas.
I've collected 327 Pokos or gold so far. This is probably a good point to end for now. I don't want to spoil too much of these side stories. But yeah, let's end here for now. But we've got one more mode that we wanted to showcase,
modo.
which is completely different from
nuevo
anything
quieren
we've shown so
enseñarnos.
far.
Vamos a
And
ver.
it is a one-on-one competitive mode
Oh,
called Bingo.
Uno contra uno competitivo. Batalla de bingo.
No, it's definitely one of I think our favorite modes in the Treehouse because it gets really, really heated. You'll see in a second. And the objective of Bingo Battle really is to fill out your bingo card. I'm going to be on the right side.
Es como el bingo, rellenar los números. Vamos a ver
All you have to
cómo
do
va.
is just make a line. It could be vertical, horizontal, diagonal.
Puedes hacer una línea y puedes hacer bingo.
Each of those little spaces, you have to collect either an item or an enemy to fill in that space. Sometimes there's multiple of an item. Sometimes there's
Vale,
not.
tienes,
But
pues
if
tienes
you take
que
a look at
conseguir esto, tienes que conseguir esta fruta, este animal para hacer una línea y el que primero lo consiga todo
the
gana.
bingo cards. And I'm not as good.
Y evidentemente primero, en vez de ir a por los objetivos, puedes ir a por las plantas para conseguir más Pikmins. Pero quieren hacer un ejército.
About what's going on right now. Since we start with only 5 Pikmin by default, of course you can customize them.
Empiezas solo con 5 Pikmins, entonces te interesa al principio conseguir más Pikmins.
A larger Pikmin squad as quickly as you can, because the more Pikmin that you have in your squad, the more that you're able to accomplish. And the more that you're able to divide tasks, if you need to divide tasks like building a bridge or
Claro,
sending
cuanto más Pikmin tengas, más tareas puedes hacer a la vez y más rápido las vas a hacer.
If you're ever not sure where a specific item on the bingo board that you want to collect is, it's simple as pulling up that map to say, oh, I need to get an orange. Then where's the orange on the map? I'm going to go get that because that's what I need to complete my bingo card. So I think what you're going to see JC and I doing first is both growing our squads and then you see
Están, digamos, ahora mismo construyendo un ejército para luego centrarse, digamos, en el bingo o las líneas.
And there's a lot of deep strategy in here too. While Corey's talking, I'm actually thinking about a couple things.
Y
Like
que hay bastante estrategia.
look at the bingo card that I have and actually targeting the corners. If I target the corners, which I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but you wouldn't normally. If you target corners, that means you have with one item, you're able to get like a horizontal, vertical, and diagonal line all at the same time.
Sure. You got that?
Están hablando de estrategia y dice que, bueno,
Oh,
pues
why
es
is that one
interesante
in my
ir
base?
primero a
Oh,
por
JC. So
las
that is a good
esquinas.
point to show that, yeah, you can go into each other's bases. And JC threw some pick.
A ver quién gana.
which started, they kind of just start like thwacking at my head, which is really annoying, but very effective, and I have to use the control stick to shake them off. My Pikmin can defeat JC's Pikmin, which is nice, but if our Pikmin do encounter each other, they will want to...
I just saw one of my Pikmin get slapped by yours, and
oh, did they fight each other a little
yeah,
bit?
actually it's on me now, but don't worry, the songs will be sung of you, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Go get him. Go get him.
Okay, let's...
Yeah.
I see that
numbers.
JC has an item actually from a roulette
Los
that
dos
he
hemos
has,
conseguido
which is
por
a
ahora
triple rocks, which he is
objeto.
able to use and drop on me. So I actually have to be really careful here.
I'm being very quiet about it. And now he just... Alright, he pointed it out, so that's fine. Okay. Gotta move, gotta think. Okay.
And again, yeah, you do want to sometimes be aware of what your opponent's up to in this,
A veces
this game.
es interesante ver lo que está haciendo tu oponente para ver lo que te interesa hacer a ti también.
Crafty at times.
Alright.
All right.
I'm gonna take a little detour here, and I'm gonna start
Okay.
strategizing by pulling some of these
This
Pikmin I
guy.
found that are my color, but they are in the water. So now I'm gonna try and
Vale, a ver.
get some of these. I'm gonna grab these blue ones.
Let's get you in the water. Yeah. Oh. I tried to lure your red Pikmin in the water.
No.
See if they would follow
Stay
me.
away from my babies.
Okay. Need some cherries.
Y aunque están en el mismo escenario, no pueden, digamos, pelearse.
So this is the first time I'm finding a cherry
whoops.
item, which
That's probably why.
again, these cherries give me
Sorry,
a
sorry.
free spin on the item roulette, which can often change the tides of battle. So I'm wanting to get as many of these cherries as possible. Back to my base. All right, I got a rock. So my cherry got me a free
Oh, this is
bomb
actually
rock,
not good.
which I can throw a Pikmin at this
oh.
rock, and now I've got a rock, a bomb rock basically. So
Una
if I
bomba
throw that
ahora.
bomb rock at a, let's just throw it at an enemy right now. Oh, he woke up and got out of there. Oh man, that was kind of a waste.
Let me see if I can actually get
We can use electricity
Oh,
to just sort of
jerk.
O también
be annoying to
puedes,
JC there and
con
temporarily
diferentes
disable
cosas,
him.
molestar a tu enemigo.
Another item that I picked up through that I got from my cherry is sort of a free spin on the item roulette, which is this golden object, which if I use it will fill up a spot on my bingo card randomly, which looked like was an apple.
Oh, no. It's the water. It's the water. It's the water, no.
All right.
Okay.
I think this guy here really continues in
I
charge.
need to
Leave him
find a different
alone.
way around this.
Parece que el de la izquierda va a ganar.
Okay. So I need two. I see the line that I want, but I'm. Oh no! That was a direct hit. Oh my gosh! You got me at like the right time. I have one.
Oh, I was staring
I
at
have
your
one.
screen.
Parece que no, le acaba de matar a un montón de Pikmins. Solo le queda uno.
Oh, man.
JC will never live it down.
Oh, dude, yeah. If I won't.
He got me
I
sleeping,
won't.
and I have one Pikmin. I
Let's
wish
see if I can actually just.
I had.
Oh,
more
I
than
really
one.
shouldn't do this though.
Solo
I
le queda un
need
Pikmin.
Dude, these
to
guys are
get
gonna
more
get so
Pikmin.
eaten.
Oh man!
If I get distracted, maybe. Let it toss. It's fine.
I just.
Oh, it's still shaking so much. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh! Come on! I need a cherry.
Okay, dude, if I could just pick up. Where was that? I really shouldn't be checking this right now, but.
Necesita algo
That's
de
right.
fruta
All the
para
enemies
conseguir
actually
más
show up as
Pikmins.
those green flashing dots. So I'm actually trying to find this
There we go.
guy.
Okay. Whew, the long battle.
Go, 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 go.
Parece que va a ser una batalla larga.
Oh,
Me and my
blue
buddy.
ones.
You're my
Where
boy,
are my
Blue.
blues? Did we just say blue at the same time?
Oh, that was exactly what I needed. Okay. Phew. So the item that I just got was a 10 free Pikmin, basically, which sprout at my base.
Come on. Come on, this will work. This will work.
Parece que se está igualando la cosa.
But I need way more. JC looks like he just needs the red Bulborb and the red Marble, which are both
You mean
en
like these
route.
two?
Yes.
Parece que va a
I
ganar
don't
el de la
think
derecha
I'm
al
gonna-
final. Me he equivocado.
Please
Good
tell me
check.
this is happening.
Nice.
Oh, this is so good. Oh, my
JC
palms are
got
sweaty.
Equipo rojo ha ganado.
That's so good.
So what was, yeah, I think from my perspective, what really turned the tides there is I was about to defeat both Bulborbs that I needed, but that rock came down at just
La
the
roca
inopportune
le ha
moment.
matado.
And I had just kind of forgotten that JC still had that item. So
Yeah, I
well
was
done.
actually-
You used it at exactly the right time.
That feels so good,
Um,
guys. Okay.
JC feels way too good right now, so we're going to play one more game. This one is going to be over in probably 2 minutes because I have way more incentive now to not take it easy. I'm not saying I was taking it easy last time, but
That felt so good.
this
Oh my
is a
gosh.
much smaller stage, so JC and I are probably going to come to a skirmish much quicker than we did in the last game. So there's really less of an opportunity to make mistakes here. There's also just a lot of, again, the map is small, so we want to be acting very quickly with our moves.
Yep. And Corey, again, because Corey pointed out that the map is really small, you're probably going to see us get into some pretty heated.
Yeah, the
Pretty heated battles real quick.
only thing in between us is that really this orange Bulborb enemy that you kind of see here that's sort of harassing me at my base right now. So other than that, we can just sort of waltz into each other's bases.
Which scares me because we're so close. All right. What if I start just... Come on. Come on. Oh, it's a big one. I didn't see it. Oh, run.
Oh, man.
No. No, this is bad. This is bad. All bad. So many. The sound of dying Pikmin. Okay. So I need to be smart about this here. Let's just do this. Okay. So I'll take that back. Get some numbers. This is okay.
Bueno, pues esto está interesante. Parece que el equipo azul ahora se está animando.
I do not like that they're on my side of the map right now. It's almost as if you sent them over here, but I know you didn't.
I did not. Speaking of sending things over. You... Oh my gosh!
So it's only nice
No.
to give gifts that I gave JC the gift of the same bomb rocks that he sent me.
Le acaba
earlier.
de devolver la
I
bomba
wonder if that
roca
actually worked out in
en
my
la otra
favor, because
partida.
at least he's not seeing that I'm actually trying to steal one of the only things in the map that exists, which is a golden strawberry.
Nope, not
No,
seeing
no,
it
no, no,
totally
no,
at
no,
all.
no, no,
I have
you
no
are-
idea what you're doing.
No, that's,
Were
hold
you
on,
doing
cancel the block.
something?
Nope, we're good.
Golden strawberry, you said?
No, mine.
pasó?
I have numbers. But no.
So all I need now is a red
Falta
strawberry,
solo la...
which it looks like
fresa.
is right behind my base, and so as
Yeah.
long as our wow, yeah. So I
Fight.
can give up. I don't need to worry about the golden strawberry because I've got my
He's got the other one.
the red, delicious sunseed berry for the quick bingo. I think that was a little over 2 minutes. So
That was
I
a
will-
little over. That was a speed.
minutos le ha
That
bastado.
was
Yo creo
like
que la
a
otra se estaba
mercy
dejando.
win right there. You were
It gets
just ending
really
it quickly.
competitive playing
Oh.
bingo battle. As you can see from a little bit of a taste, we absolutely love this mode. But really, all the modes offer a little bit of a different type of gameplay. So we hope you're looking forward to
El-
checking out Pikmin 3
El
Deluxe.
modo
Be
cooperativo
on
la
the
verdad está
lookout
bastante
for
divertido.
a eShop demo that will include save data transfer to the full game. And if you complete the eShop
Van a-
demo, defeat the last boss in the demo,
Van a sacar una demo.
you'll be able to
La
start
eShop.
the full game with Ultra Spicy mode if you'd like that extra challenge. So again, thanks for checking out a little bit of Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Don't forget the game itself comes out on October 30th.
Awesome. Thanks, Corey. Again,
30
really
de
appreciate
octubre.
it. Thanks for letting me have that one.
Gracias por haberos
because
pasado
that
por
does not
aquí,
happen
dicen.
often. And again, I
Y
can't
nos
wait to
podemos
play some more
descargar la
Bingo
demo
Battle with you,
en la
in
eShop, han
October.
dicho. Espero que después del
Coming up
directo
next,
para probarlo.
obviously, is I'm waiting for this too, which is Hyrule Warriors: Age
Y
of Calamity.
pasamos a
So,
Zelda.
over to you, Kay.
Thanks, JC. Thanks, Corey. Wow, Pikmin looks like a lot of fun. Hi, everyone. I'm Kay from Nintendo Treehouse, and I've got my colleagues Chico and Kendra here with
Pikmin a
me.
Zelda.
Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge that we are doing this remotely. So there might be some technical limitations, but we're asking for your patience and your understanding as we work as hard as we can to bring you an amazing stream. So today we're going to take a look at Hyrule Warriors: Age of calamity,
piden
which
disculpas
takes place
porque
100 years before Breath of the
debido
Wild,
a la
and
pandemia
tells
lo
the
tienen que
story
hacer
of
de
the
forma
Great Calamity
remota
and the events
y si hay
leading up
algún
to it,
problema técnico lo siento.
which really can only be told
Hyrule
with years
Warriors
versus
es 100
1,000
años antes de
action
Zelda Breath of the
Warriors.
Wild.
We'll start off with a first look at Urbosa. I'm so excited.
Woohoo!
Chico, are you ready?
Yes, I am. So
Let's get started.
I'm
Gameplay.
fine. I know. I'm playing as Urbosa right now, as you can see, and I'm actually inside the little town right now. And then it is a Hyrule Warriors game, so you will be using X and Y button to do weak and strong attack, and then also A. Oh wait, you can master button.
X e Y para luchar.
The little town is under attack by Iga Clan, but I don't want to talk about why they're here. But the objective is I have to actually defeat all 3 Iga Blade Masters. So to do that, in addition to the usual Hyrule Warriors action, I have to use Rune to counterattack. And I can use, I just use the stasis now, as you can tell. But each character can use all 4 different runes in different occasions. So
Cada personaje tiene 4 ataques diferentes.
attacking him right now, so I'm gonna let Kay and Kindra talk about what's unique about
Y acaba de
Urbosa.
ganar la batalla.
Great, thank you so much, Chico. Yeah, Urbosa's gameplay is really fun and exciting, and as you can see,
El
it's
gameplay
focused
es
on
bastante frenético.
to use an attack with lightning. She has a unique ability to charge up lightning, which is represented by the gauge at the top of the screen. And yep, she's charging it right there. And once it's charged up, she can actually use the lightning in addition to
Este
her
personaje
strong attacks
puede-
to kind of strengthen those
Puede
attacks
realizar
and do
ataques
some
con
really character
con rayos,
specific
con
stuff with it.
electricidad. Así
She
que
also
bastante peligroso,
uses
pero
lightning
necesita
in her
cargarse.
weak point counters and in her special attacks. And if Chico can get the timing right, after some of these big attacks where there's still some electricity lingering in the air,
Nice.
she can charge up her electricity super quick, which takes a lot of skill
Yes.
and a lot of timing, but it's very satisfying when you can pull it off.
Okay, so I'm running
And
around
to-
in the town.
And I just wanted to add too, aside from the gameplay that you're seeing, well, first of all, oh wait, no,
Oh my gosh.
interrupting myself because there's a Korok.
There it is. It's so cute.
So clearly, Koroks are in the stages that you can find. But this is the first time that people get to play as Urbosa, which is already super awesome. And this area probably looks pretty familiar to some Breath of the Wild fans.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see these
so
places.
great.
A los fans de Breath of the Wild.
Pre-Calamity. But what I did want to say is fans can look forward to getting more backstory on these characters as well. You really get a good look at Urbosa's relationship to Zelda and also more information about
Dice que
Urbosa's
está
relationship to
trabajando,
Zelda's
que han
late mother.
trabajado mucho en que la historia sea
If
coherente.
you're like me and you love to get to know the characters and get to know them in ways that you didn't get to in
¿Quieres
Breath
conocer
of the
los
Wild,
personajes? Este es
this game is your opportunity to do that.
para conocer la historia de los personajes y las relaciones entre ellos.
Really, there's a lot to unpack in here and a lot to see, and it's very thrilling for fans of Breath of the Wild to be able to take a look
Para los fans de Breath of the Wild les va a gustar.
story. All right, and now we're taking a look at Zelda's gameplay, which is
Ahora están jugando con Zelda.
as you can see, she uses the runes as her main attacks.
Su ataque
In addition to
principal.
being able to use them just like everyone else, and she can create different combinations of runes to take out huge swarms of enemies. Oh my gosh.
Zelda sé que va a llevar ahora un buen golpe, pero bueno.
It's so cool to
In
see
true Chico
Zelda
fashion.
being able to take out these guys.
Yeah, and for me, anytime Zelda you get to play as Zelda and annihilate enemies as Zelda, it's pretty much a win for me because Zelda in a Zelda game.
Les encanta jugar con Zelda.
Well, and she's really fun to play as in this one. Nice work. Nice work.
I'm just gonna go back to Zelda because she is my favorite.
She's great.
I know Zelda is great, but yeah. Okay, so
Urbosa's
I have
also
to
great.
chase
But
after.
Urbosa.
Yes, definitely. I have to chase after the Iga one people, so I'm gonna go after that to the location I'm told to go. There looks like there's a lot of people here.
And for people who are new to the Warriors series, as you can see, there are prompts on the screen that help guide you through the process of the gameplay.
A los nuevos, como han dicho, te van saliendo en esta parte de la pantalla, en la parte de abajo, recomendaciones sobre, digamos, cómo jugar o qué hacer aquí mejor.
My objective is to defeat the enemies with loud attack. So I think I need to do. Oh, I can't use right now, but I will wait till my rune fills up first. But
Make some noise,
okay,
Chico.
so I'm going to
Enemigos
Do it.
I'll do that.
digamos,
Hold on. These guys are real.
This guy's really getting in your way. So as you can see, when you use the Sheikah runes, there is a little bit of a wait time for it to charge back up before you can use it again, which is very similar to how it worked in Breath of the Wild. Oh man, that was a gorgeous takeout right there. And the
So I
reason
guess I
for
did that.
using these loud attacks was to call forth a certain familiar monster. And there he is.
el ataque fuerte para
Oh, man.
llamar a un amiguito. que no
You
será
sure it's
muy
not a lady though?
I think he's beautiful.
Yeah, he's too scary, and he's coming after me, so I don't think I want to do this. Bye-bye.
Now, let's go ahead and
That's it.
let's escape
Done.
to the main menu while we can.
Vamos a ver el menú principal.
So we're gonna go back to the world map and show some of the gameplay between battles, leveling up characters, strengthening weapons, and unlocking things. There it is,
Mapas,
very familiar
de nivel a
map of Hyrule. Chico, do you want to tell us a little bit about
el mapa
this?
es muy familiar.
Yeah, so if you ever play, like original Hyrule Warriors game or maybe different Warriors game, you might be familiar with how the menu looked like. You will go from chapter 1 to 3 type thing. But this one, you actually go through different chapters and locations using the map of Hyrule from the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And when I first saw this, I was literally screaming because it was so gorgeous and I just loved it.
A veces,
And because it's a Hyrule Warriors game, when you're playing the stages, you collect a lot of different type of materials. So using those materials, you can unlock different locations on the map, like the stables, other training grounds, and even like different dishes you can cook type thing. So one of the things I wanted to show is actually here, blacksmith. So it is a Hyrule Warriors game, so you will be collecting a lot of different weapons while you are in the stage. Not like Breath of the Wild, you don't the weapons do not break during the stage, but you can use these weapons you collected to strengthen your primary use weapon. So right now I'm using this sword. There's other different type of weapons I can get and different way to use it. So I want to use my sledgehammer, iron sledgehammer, and use them with all the materials I got so far.
With the level
And I
1
think
soup
I'm-
ladle that you will not neglect. Don't you dare.
Sorry.
Okay. Whew. I was worried.
I shouldn't. It's okay. It's okay.
No, use it.
Okay, so
Yes, it's okay.
You can use up to 5 different weapons, and then you can strengthen. You of course have to use the rupees, so make sure you collect the rupees when you are in the stage 2. And now I have my sledgehammer leveled up to 5, so I can use that for next battle if I want to. Another thing is the materials you collected. You can make the dish. So let's see, this one is ready. So spurred fish dish. And you need the materials 5 fish. So I have that trout. So now I love that dish. So I can earn the recipe for chili fish stew.
Acaba de desbloquear una receta.
Right, and the recipes can be used to give your characters a little bit of a buff before you go into battle. And there are a bunch of different types that have different effects, so it's pretty fun to collect them and see what they do. Yep,
And
they
then,
also
by
have
defeating the
yeah, so by defeating monsters and getting those materials, you can also turn them into these other quests, which you can use to unlock bonus combos or extra health or other such things. But the thing I really like about these is that they have little stories that go along with them, little glimpses into the characters' lives between battles during this war. The one that we just did, for example, is about a young child in Hateno village who wants to build a monster dummy so that they can practice using a two-handed sword. And so Link actually brings the materials to make the dummy, creates this dummy, helps them build it, and then they train together. And that's how Link is able to come up with an extra move for his two-handed sword. And I love it because Link's from Hateno village. So it's a very cute glimpse into his life.
Yeah, the world building is
So-
really excellent in this game.
Yeah, we just strengthened this 200. I mean, sledgehammer is basically a 200 sword type. So I'm going into the training mission where I can actually
ir a una
use this
misión de
sledgehammer to
entrenamiento
showcase how the 200 sword
para
or
enseñarnos
200 weapon
el
will work
martillo.
in this game. And so I changed my weapon, and I guess I
You
can change my
also
tire.
change his-
También puede cambiarse.
Yeah, you can
Oh, yeah, good.
unlock different pieces of armor as you progress through the game, and you can equip or, I guess, unequip them as
Sí, sí.
and dress
No
them
te
up
dejan ir
however
sin
you
camiseta.
They
want.
look nice.
yeah,
What are you
this is-
talking about?
This is
And
Link's,
also,
training attire.
and we also, this is the chili fish stew we just got from the recipe location, so I can use that.
Right, and every character will react differently to the
Cada personaje
dishes that you cook for them. And some characters even have favorite dishes, and they'll say something different when you give them their favorite dish. So it's a lot of fun to try out a bunch of different recipes and see which your characters prefer.
Yeah, and if you watch the TGS live stream, you might have seen the cutscene where it's showing the tower actually raising from the ground. And that tower is actually going to be a base for Link whenever he goes to the next mission. So I think you just saw him kind of like warping from the tower to that new location where I'm going to be showcasing the 200 sword training mission.
Right.
Without
so
a
yeah,
shirt on.
it is a training mission. Without
Hey, don't judge me.
I mean,
there's no
the two-handed
judgment.
sword is a lot of
If
work.
anything, I just feel bad for Link.
parece que funciona bastante bien.
No, you know, he
I guess
works
there's
up
less
quite a
fabric to
sweat
get in the
swinging
way
that
while
thing
he's
around.
fighting.
Yeah, so as you can see, this is a training level, so you're fighting against a lot of Hyrulean soldiers, and using the two-handed sword, which, you know, aesthetically does look a lot like how it was used in Breath of the Wild. In this game, it's slower but more powerful than the one-handed sword. But the fun thing about it is that he can use the unique action to strengthen his strong attacks. In exchange, he takes a little bit of temporary damage,
Like this.
like that. And in order to heal that temporary damage, you can press X to consume a meal in the middle of battle. I love the animation for him eating.
Yeah, let's
I love the animation for him eating.
Let's get near some
she'll
enemies.
Do it for us.
Sorry. I was focusing.
Get near some enemies. Oh no, not quite. Okay, so but one of those eating animations is highly aggressive, and if Chico does it near some enemies, then we will see what happens, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to show you that because I love it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There it is. Okay. Aggressive food eating.
I love it.
Shockwave blast, sending the soldiers flying.
I love that they included that in this game as part of the actual fighting style for the two-handed sword. I think it's a great homage to Breath of the Wild and people who played it like I did, which is to say having a stockpile of apples or something in my inventory so I could chow down when I'm being blown back by a strong attack that did lots of damage.
You can aggressively eat your apples and send those soldiers
Aggressively
flying.
eat your apples. It's the only way to eat apples in this game.
If you burn,
Alright, how many
apples,
chaos do
you
we
can
have?
actually get grilled apples here.
Oh yeah.
So I have to kill
Alright.
170 more.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're more than halfway.
I'd also like to point out that this location is very familiar. It appeared as ruins in Breath of the Wild, but now, before the Calamity, it's in its heyday. And it's very cool to see what it looked like before it got destroyed.
Yeah, and
Nice
Chico,
one,
maybe you can
Chico.
show us some lightning rod action.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, we did get to see the ice rod before.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Poor soldiers.
You can do it. So, as you can see, she's timing her attacks for when that weak point gauge comes out. The big strategy against these stronger enemies is to cut down that weak point gauge and create an opening so you can do a counter attack, which can be very powerful.
Alright,
Nice
a
one.
little bit more.
I need a big group of soldiers to defeat that scene.
Vale, está a punto
I love
de superar
the
los
two-handed sword
400
so much. I think
enemigos
it's
que
my
tiene que
favorite.
matar.
It's so satisfying, to just slam through all of these enemies, these thousands and thousands of enemies. And also to take a little break to have a snack here and then. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is my favorite one.
Ole,
I'm hoping we can.
I know your favorite is
show
the
some flurry rush too. Oh, of course.
I'm trying! I suck at this thing!
375 necesita 25 más en 40 segundos. Sí, lo va a conseguir yo.
You need to find another one of those captains.
Okay. No, he's not good. Yeah, done.
Nice. There we go.
Oh yeah, look, it's Daruk!
He's my favorite. It's cool. He's very heavy moving character too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
He moves surprisingly quickly for someone of his size, though, I have to say.
Yeah. Boy.
Oh. You can do it, Chico. I believe in you.
Keep your own size. I mean, he's like 3 times
Oh my
bigger than me.
goodness.
Oh my gosh. That looks like a little bit of rough play for training.
They take their training very seriously.
Very strong.
Nice work.
Ah! Take
Nice
Yeah,
work.
wow.
Man, you made very quick
You
work
took
of
them out
Daruk.
really
Good
fast.
job.
Yeah, you did.
that.
All right, let's cut away from this for a second because we have one other thing we'd like to show you. Chico's got to set it up though. I
Yeah,
love Daruk. He's so great. He's such a
and it's really
fun character.
Yeah, and it's cool to see all the various characters, that we know and love from Breath of the Wild, but seeing them in this different setting and seeing all of their special moves and how those differ. I do really like seeing that, and I'm excited for what we're about to show you as well, you, the viewers.
Yeah, it's great. It's an amazing thing that they've done with this game to bring us into this era, pre-calamity, and show us all these characters and show us the intricacies of how they interact and how they perform in battle. It's stuff that I think personally, as a fan of Breath of the Wild, I wished for so hard.
Como fans de Breath of the Wild, este juego nos va a gustar, dicen.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and not to bring the soup ladle up too much, but I do want to say I love that they included the soup ladle. That they're bringing it back, and we see those same touches from Breath of the Wild in this game. And Chico mentioned that the weapons aren't breakable, so you really could, equip that soup ladle.
Las armas se rompen, así que cuidado.
You could fight with the soup ladle.
Seriously.
You could use weapons to
choose your own
make the soup
adventure.
ladle stronger. Yeah. I love it. I love that when you use the soup ladle, you got the pot lid as a shield too. All right, so
Totally.
we're looking at Impa now.
Yeah. So what I want to show is in the distance, but I need to take care of these guys first because these guys is in my
Nice.
way. Okay. Ah!
So obviously this is a new depiction of Impa that we're seeing here, but Chico is about to show us.
Ahora están a bastante más nivel, claro, y nos van a mostrar de lo que es capaz durante el gameplay.
I think she's so much fun to play. She's so quick, and she has these different jutsu attacks that she uses, like the summoning of the frog and the creation of foam.
Let's go.
You did. That was an impressive use of the electric rod, I have to say. And here we have.
Ahora contra el Hinox, el bicho grande.
I love it. So yeah, as I was saying, Impa's gameplay, being able to absorb those symbols to create the clones and then strengthen the strong attack when she has all of her clones out is it's really fun. Takes a lot of strategy and timing. Nice. And you
Mucha estrategia, cargar tu ataque.
does differ from the other characters we've looked at today too.
Okay.
You can do it. So we discussed earlier the usage of runes in order to create openings to counter strong enemies. And it's even more important that you do that when fighting these big monsters too, because if you get the timing right on these, just like that, you can create these great dramatic openings for yourself.
Es muy importante el timing de los ataques, atacar cuando los enemigos están más débiles.
And it can really make it easy to, or easier, I should say, to take these guys out.
Y eso hace que ganes las batallas de forma más fácil, claro.
Business.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, I would be grumpy too if I got woken up like that.
That's fair.
Vale, parece que lo vas a
Nice work,
Chico's
Chico.
making short work of this guy.
She really is.
I love that flying squirrel move. The maniacal laugh.
Bueno, no sé yo, le quedan 23 segundos y mucha vida, parece, así que no sé yo.
Nice. All right, I think that's all the time we have left for today. Let's stop beating up on this poor Hinox and let him go back to his nap. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Parece que es todo lo que hemos tenido por hoy.
Calamity, which releases Friday, November 20th. We hope
20 de noviembre y esperan que nos haya gustado.
today. Bye-bye.
Bye.
A ver si esto es todo por hoy. Sí, pues parece que sí. La verdad, ha estado bien el evento, con bastante gameplay de los dos juegos. Y a mí, el Hyrule Warriors me atrae más para jugarlo yo solo y pasármelo, pero el modo cooperativo o batalla de Pikmin, la verdad es que tenía bastante buena pinta. Así que veremos cuando salgan, a ver si me da tiempo a jugar al Zelda Breath of the Wild primero, pero bueno, con Cyberpunk 2077 y Watch Dogs Legion va a ser complicado. Pero bueno, espero que os haya gustado, ponerme lo que os ha parecido en los comentarios y si estáis esperando a que llegue Pikmin o Hyrule Warriors para jugarlo pronto. Nos vemos.